My last fight off the last war of Season 52 was against an Enchantress boss. Enchantress? Enchantress? Meh, I'm just gonna call her Wench for short. And at the time, this was a must-win war to make Master, although we ended up finishing 11th overall. And at this point in the war, we both had 5 deaths with 12 fights left. And the war ended with 5 deaths each, so it was a pretty close one throughout. Fortunately, we had the superior fight time, so we just had to make sure we solo the rest of the fights. And I actually almost died in this war. Maybe I'll make another video for that fight because it was really close. But anyway, today I just have a Wench boss, and this was either my 9th or 10th time taking her this season. So I have had my fair share of practice, although she's usually either on node 14 on part 5 or node 41 with Scared Stiff, Bubble Shield and Power Focus 2. I find that one a lot more annoying. So I am gonna give some general advice on how to fight her with negative. One thing I've heard a lot of people have issues with is how do you deal with her when she is untouchable? Maybe less so in Alliance War because the tactic does counter miss once you have a heal block up, but in general what I like to do with negative is use as evade to counter a heavy attack, because if I do miss I'll just evade so I won't get punished for it. But if I'm not worried about missing, I'll usually punish a heavy attack with my own, so I can disable both the purple and green spells at the same time. And for the orange spell, you just need to intercept, which is very easy with negative since the evade does that for you. Just need to make sure that you are far enough, or at least let her dash at you to count as an intercept. So I build my first 9 dark energy before I bait a special attack. But you'll notice with negative, I like to evade twice to get that first 9 dark energy, just to optimize the power control, so I'm mostly hitting her while she is delirious, because negative's delirium debuff lowers offensive combat power rate by 60%, and that essentially allows me to win the power gain race so I can get to my special 1 before she does. Or if I were to use an advanced power boost, I'll get to my special 2 before she gets 1 bar of power. So I disable the first set of spells before giving her a bar of power. The second set was a little trickier because I had to dex a heavy attack in the corner and perform an intercept while she had a bar of power because I triggered the power gain, but still not an issue for negative. In fact, evading while the opponent has a bar of power or special ready is something I've gotten used to over the past year just because of how annoying the AI can be when using him. Like sometimes you'll just be holding heavy but the opponent won't attack you until it's released. So I just hold block with my left thumb to make sure they don't throw a special attack, and then hold heavy with the right. And then when they dash at me is when I release the block, but I'm still holding the heavy, so I basically go from blocking to evade intercepting. With that, I get to 20 dark energy, drop the first special 2, and that does about 40% of her max health. So I just had to repeat that process, and I did get a little bit lucky with spell RNG in the second half of the fight. They were mostly just knockdown spells, which are pretty easy to disable. So after disabling the last set of spells, the fight was pretty much done because I already had my first set of 9 dark energy with nearly 2 bars of power. So just gotta parry a couple more times, convert, and drop that final special 2. But just for some style points, I decided to drop the striker immediately after evading, heavy for the fury buff, and then the special 2. So the Wench goes down in 41 hits and 89 seconds, and I gotta say, this fight was very satisfying to execute. Oh, and I forgot to mention, even though I had the Valkyrie synergy, I never actually utilized it in this fight. Not because I didn't want to, but I just forgot about it completely because I don't really use it all that much these days. And I guess the passive power gain would make it a little bit trickier to execute, so I just kept it safe and simple. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this one. Hope you found it interesting, and as always, thank you for watching. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you soon.